Bet you didn't expect this one? Hell yeah, no intro, because welcome to the Neuvillette character review. Yeah, I bet you are very much surprised that this is out, since I said that we wouldn't have any character reviews, but I was surprised as well. So, what happened, to introduce you to why the hell we're reviewing Neuvillette so randomly, well, what happened was that a friend of mine was away from their PC for a while, so they told me to log into their account. And I just so happened to be using my controller as I logged into their account. I got a small pop-up, some text on the top of the screen, that said that Neuvillette can use the aiming button, which is the left trigger on controllers, to use his charge attack. So yeah, they fixed Neuvillette on controllers. Now, I don't know if they did this before, since I don't know Neuvillette, so I didn't have the chance to check it out. And I also just never logged into someone's account while using my controller, so I never had the chance to see this pop-up if it happened before. So if it happened before, then it's my fault, but I just saw it. And I mean, it's a good chance, since Neuvillette is rerunning right now. So yeah, Neuvillette has been fixed on controllers, so you can actually freaking use him. I do wish that they did this with more aimable skills like Nahida, but the default button layout is actually, like, it does work compared to the one that I have. So again, it would be nice if they did this for every character that has an aimable skill and isn't something like a bow character, since the bow characters do already use that button. But yeah, they fixed Neuvillette, motherfucker. So welcome. Neuvillette is a Hydro Catalyst HP mained DPS. I don't think I need to do a ton of introduction on Neuvillette, since you freaking know who he is. He is one of the top, if not the top, DPS in the entire game, because he is just simply busted. He's extremely easy to play, easy to gear, and just has everything, honestly, to make him the absolute top DPS. And well, why don't we immediately get into his kit to see why the fuck he's so powerful, and he has been so powerful even with Natlan, 1 year in. So, his normal attacks we're actually going to talk about. The base normal attacks are nothing much. The main thing is, in the entire kit, is the Power Washer charged attack. You hold down the charge attack button and it slowly charges up his Power Washer that scales with his max HP. And as Neuvillette is firing the Power Washer, he will slowly consume his HP down to 50%. There are ways to reduce the charging time using his skill and burst, and to quickly get both of them away because they are extremely basic. The skill is a simple splash of water, seriously, that creates a good amount of particles and 3 droplets. And the burst is a big splash of water, followed by a few raindrops that summons 6 droplets, all of which scale with max HP. So these droplets that I mentioned are used to instantly charge, to reduce the charge time, the charge time of the charge attack, with 3 being the point where Neuvillette just instantly fires the laser. So the combo is to create these droplets that will allow you to, again, instantly charge the charge attack and power wash everything in the game. And yeah, both the skill and burst are extremely simple. Their main purpose is to create the droplets, but as mentioned, both the skill and burst scale with HP, so leveling them up should be done, as you also always use them during a rotation. So yeah, that Power Washer is unfathomably powerful. It takes a lot, and its range is insane, and since you can just freely move the camera and Neuvillette at the same time while you're using the Power Washer, no matter what it is it a boss, is it a lot of enemies, this Power Washer will do it. As for Neuvillette's talents, they are also pretty simple. His first talent is that whenever anyone triggers a Hydro-related reaction, Neuvillette gains a stack, up to 3, that increases his charge attack damage up to 160% of the original value. And his second talent is that Neuvillette gets a Hydro damage bonus based on his current HP, above 30%, up to 30%. Very weird that they're using current HP, which means that since Neuvillette eats up his HP with his charge attack, not that you should be min-maxing this talent, it does mean that when Neuvillette gets below 80% of his HP, he gets weaker. which, I mean, again, you're not min-maxing this talent because the stat it gives isn't insane. But yeah, like, weaker, of course, in giant quotation marks. But yeah, like, it means that he loses stats when he's below 80%, which, again, is really weird that they used current HP. I thought that they would use something, like Baizu, where it's like, when Neuvillette has above X amount, X thousands of HP, every 1000 gives him hydro damage bonus. That's what I would have thought, honestly, that they would use. As for constellations, his C1 gives him basically 100% resistance to interruption, and his C2 gives him crit damage on his charge attack. Some decent first constellations. C1 allows you to not run a shielder or something, because getting hit or needing to dodge an attack with Neuvillette and interrupting his charge attack is a giant loss in DPS. So C1 is really nice, and C2 is some damage. To note, his C2 gives him around like 40-ish crit damage, while Kinnich's first constellation gives him 100. Just so you know, the power creeping is happening. Yay! Yay, yay, yay! Anyway, that's the kit. It's pretty basic because, yeah, like, skill and burst are just splashes of damage, while the main thing is the power washer. Talents don't have anything crazy, just do some hydro reactions in order to up your damage even more, and then the second talent is again more damage, with constellations being some nice quality of life stuff and even more damage. For artifacts, to move on, Maricuse Hunter is the main and only set to farm. I don't think I really need to explain why my Maricuse Hunter is Neuvillette's best set. It has been out for a decent amount of time, so you should have a decent set if you're pulling for Neuvillette right now. And even for newer players, the Maricuse Hunter is in the strongbox, so once you unlock or have plenty of 5-star artifacts, if you haven't progressed through the story to reach Fontaine, then you can strongbox Maricuse Hunter to get Maricuse Hunter artifacts for your Neuvillette. But the second set is Heart of Depth, as it gives Neuvillette everything he likes, hydro damage bonus and charge attack damage. But Maricuse Hunter gives you half of Heart of Depth's charge attack damage, and 36 crit rate is unmatched. While Heart of Depth might give you higher crit numbers and non-crit ones, Maricuse Hunter will crit where Heart of Depth won't, and that ends up being a lot more damage overall. That's how it works. Main stats on your artifacts is HP on Sands, of course, hydro damage on Goblet, with HP Goblets not being a bad idea. Depending on the team and the stats, HP Goblets can perform exceptionally good, but in like 90% plus of cases, Hydro Goblets will slightly outperform HP ones, and of course, crit circlets. Now, for substats, you do need enough energy recharge to burst every rotation since you need the droplets it creates, but thankfully, Neuvillette doesn't need a ton of energy recharge to achieve this. It depends on the teammates and weapons even that you will grab, but the maximum is usually 120% energy recharge. There are very, very few situations where more than 120% is needed. And after that, crit and HP percent are the thing to hunt for, and at the end, the third one is flat HP. Just as much HP and as much crit as you can. You're just maximizing for damage. For teammates, since we're done with artifacts, let's start with the one thing you will 100% need, which is a second Hydro, since Hydro Resonance is unbeatable in importance for Neuvillette. Furina is the best, of course, Hydro Sovereign and Archon together, passive damage from her skill, also scaling with HP, and free huge damage bonus. And since Neuvillette fluctuates his HP like crazy, he stacks Furina's burst himself. Next up, to get the two other Hydro Archons out the way, honestly, Yelan and Xingqiu are sort of last pick options, unfortunately, since they both want normal attacks, but they do offer some stuff even as last picks. They both have good particle generation, so feeding Neuvillette's burst becomes very easy, and then Yelan offers a damage buff, while Xingqiu offers resistance to interruption for non-C1 Neuvillettes. But for more useful Hydros, Kokomi is a very good option because of passive Hydro appliance and healing, but most importantly, she can hold Hakushin Ring, an Inazuma craftable catalyst that gives elemental damage bonus if you trigger an electro-related reaction, and so Kokomi will trigger electro-charged and give Neuvillette a pretty good damage bonus. And it's an old craftable, so you should have the old billets saved up, and so that I don't mention Hakushin every time, any character that can trigger electro-charged can and should use an R5 Hakushin when paired with Neuvillette. That also includes Anemo units, Hydro units, and Electro units. Other than those, Hydros, there's Mona, but her Omen does not last anywhere near long enough for Neuvillette to use, but she's fine. Her taunt can help with getting enemies away from Neuvillette. Barbara is worse Kokomi, but the same stuff applies to her. And I mean, Child gives you +1 to attack talent, so go right ahead. For other elements, Electro is a good pick since it has some good teammates and easily maxes Neuvillette passive talent. Worth noting are Ororon, who we covered in the last character review if you want to go watch. He offers energy restoration, and most importantly, he can hold Cinder City and max it out. His totem also taunts, but good luck with that. So that can also work just like Mona's taunt. Next up is Fischl with her very good personal damage that she offers, and if you have any attack scalers in the team, her holding LG for the end will be nice for them. Honestly, the EM buff it gives isn't going to make your Electro charged insane, but it's nice as well. Other than those, there's Lisa, who has a bit of a death shred, and she can also carry Hakushin. Yae offers damage, but her energy recharge needs are insane, so don't expect to use her burst often. Cookie offers some healing, but does need Neuvillette to be close to enemies to, apply Electro, which is not ideal. Raiden can offer long range application, but weaving in her burst in the rotation can lead to lower team damage since you are taking time away from Neuvillette, so she is a bit of a last pick option just to have Hydro reactions. And other than that, well, there isn't anybody really suitable for Neuvillette. Which moves us to Anemo, since Viridescent is extremely used for Neuvillette, and most of them offer something really nice for him as well. Kazuzu is the easiest pick, I don't think I need to go into detail. Viridescent, his elemental damage bonus, and Freedom Sworn actually. This does apply to any sword character that fits with Neuvillette and can use Freedom Sworn, because it gives a charged attack bonus, which bumps it up in weapons for teammates to use with Neuvillette. So Kazuzu ends up giving even more with Freedom Sworn. Sucrose at C6 can also give an elemental damage bonus, and she can hold Hakushin. Venti is mostly useful for big groups of enemies. He also does have energy restoration if his burst absorbs Hydro. Same with Cloud Retainer or Xianyun. She can hold Hakushin, and her healing helps in Furina teams. Jan can hold Freedom Sworn, although a bit weird to use it, but most likely should run Favonius because of that, and is also incredible for Furina teams. And other than those, you are mostly using them for Viridescent like Lynette or Sayu. There is the new Lanyan that you can get from Lantern Ride, but she is a mixed bag. She offers a shield, which is nice, but that's about it, and she can hold Hakushin because she is Catalyst, but her Seed 2 wants normal attacks to restore her shield's HP, which Neuvillette doesn't use, and she has EM buffs, which Neuvillette doesn't really care about, so using her just for the shield is fine, but there are better options. And lastly is flex options that are nice for Neuvillette. Geos like Zilonen or Zhongli offer Red Shred and Cinder City or a powerful shield. Paizu is very nice for his shield and especially for Furina teams. And honestly, other team-wide healers can be considered in Furina teams. And that's about it for flex options. And lastly is weapons, where there are some very good free-to-play options. Starting with Prototype Amber. The HP it gives is just free damage for Neuvillette, and it ranks extremely well. And you can refine it to get more energy back, which will allow you to hunt for more DPS substats. Next is Sacrificial Jade, which is a Battle Pass weapon that works fine with Neuvillette. The crit rate it gives means you can just hunt for crit damage, but its effect doesn't pair extremely well with Neuvillette. It gives max HP, but it disappears when the character has been on the field for more than 10 seconds, which is just a bit too short for Neuvillette. It's still a good weapon, and a good looking one for Neuvillette, but it has its caveats. I don't know if I would buy a Battle Pass just for it, but again, it's a pretty good option. I especially don't know if I would refine it for Neuvillette. Next is Ash Graven Horn, an event weapon from 5.0 that fits Neuvillette pretty well. It gives HP%, and it does an HP scaling attack every 15 seconds, and since Neuvillette has a ton of HP, that attack can be pretty powerful. So, compared to Prototype Amber, instead of giving you some energy back, it does damage, and that's about it. There is a new weapon called the Wave Riding Whirl, which is a banner weapon, but at R5, it can give you an insane 88% max HP increase, but it has a ton of caveats. It has energy recharge as its substat, which is not ideal at all for Neuvillette, and it wants Hydro characters in the party to give you the maximum max HP buff. But it's not clear if the Wielder, so that would be Neuvillette, will count as one of those Hydro characters. If he does, then you only need another Hydro, which you most likely have for Neuvillette, and at R5 this thing will go crazy, but it is at R5, which you most likely can get Neuvillette's 5-star weapon before that. So, I don't know, I would like to see somebody try this thing out and see how it works. Because again, 88% max HP, if it's on a banner and you're just hunting for a 5-star and you somehow get it on high refines, this thing could go nuts. But that's for 4 stars. Let's go to 5 stars, where if it isn't Baizu's Jadeful Splendor, which is very much just prototype Amber, but a 5-star, which works perfectly fine. I use it because I don't have any other options. Any crit stuff just works. Lost Prayers, Kagura's Verity, Tuletula are all just crit stat sticks that can offer something on top, mostly Lost Prayers and its elemental damage. Cash Flow and Surf's Up, which are Risley's and Moalani's weapons, can offer something on top as well. Cash Flow gives you charge attack damage, while Surf's Up offers some max HP. And lastly is Neuvillette's very own Tome of Eternal Flow, and you know very well that it's on top because it's made for Neuvillette. And that's it! I was extremely surprised when I saw that they fixed Neuvillette, and I'm pretty sure again that it just happened. I've stopped reading the full patch notes, so if it happened before, then, well, I didn't have the chance to find out there. So, yeah, as I said, I didn't have Neuvillette on my account, so I couldn't, check it there, and I somehow did not happen to use my controller while playing on anybody else's accounts when needed. So yeah, they fixed Neuvillette, and I pulled for him. And I'm hearing that 5.4 might have Risley. It's an extremely questionable leak, but please tell me that it's actually going to happen. Anyways, happy holidays! I have to immediately work on the version review because they thought that it was a good idea to put the new version right on New Year's. That's insane. So, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Like the video if you liked it. Sub to the channel to help it out. Again, 5.4, they're questionable leaks that Risley's coming back. I mean, Shenhei is coming back through a Chronicled Wish banner, so maybe it's time to pull out the other Cryo Bastard out. So we might have a Risley review when 5.4 is out. But let's await the let's await for the live stream to see if that will happen. And actually, to spoiler the review a bit, there was the Adventurer's Trials and Risley was in it. But yeah, the next video should be immediately the patch review for 5.2, because again, we're 1 week away from 5.3, and it's in the fucking New Year's. Why the hell did they do this? So, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.